Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a wonderful day. The question of the day is, how much do you think Bitcoin will be worth on the day of the halving? The current predictions are, if you want to throw a stone at it, are anywhere between 50,000 to 100,000 Bitcoin on the day of the halving. A little insane. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. I guess they're doing the exact same thing as the other company's news. This was quite popular within the cryptocurrency space. Something called Founders Fund, the venture capital firm founded by Peter Thiel. I think Peter Thiel was one of the people who created PayPal, right? Peter Thiel? Pretty sure that's him. Apparently invested $100 million into Bitcoin. Sources said from Reuters. The firm allocated $200 million to buy Bitcoin. And this article says another cryptocurrency, and they should have just written Ether. I looked around to see what the other coin was. For some reason, a number of articles. This is also from the website Bitcoin Magazine. So maybe it's illegal for them to say the names of other coins. But they paid or used $200 million. Used 100 million to buy Bitcoin, and the other 100 million was evenly split between Bitcoin and Ethereum. It says this maneuver further highlights the return of institutional investors to Bitcoin. I don't know what this light delirium is that people think that now institutions are re-entering the market or have some type of extra new fervor that they didn't have before. Peter Thiel has been in the Bitcoin space for a while. The problem is that when we get news that a purchase has happened, people assume that that's the only purchase that these people have made. You think this is the first time that Peter Thiel is spending money on Bitcoin and Ethereum? You think he waited all these years when he saw the prices before at $900 and $16 per Ether, that he wasn't all right, let's just throw in a couple $100 million, because that's, he's a billionaire, so he has the actual money to do so. Founders Fund, an early institutional investor in Bitcoin, there we go, initially bought, oh, look at that. I should just read. I feel like if I just read further, we would have no issues. Founders Fund, an early institutional investor in Bitcoin, initially purchased Bitcoin in 2014. Oh, there we go. Before liquidating their holdings before the 2022 crash, earning approximately 1.8 billion US dollars. The firm resumed its Bitcoin investments last summer, strategically acquiring Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies when Bitcoin's price was below $30,000. It was below $30,000 for a very long time. So I can only imagine how long they were actually accumulating. It talks about Thiel. Yeah, I was right. Co-founder of PayPal and Palantir. Palantir has publicly endorsed Bitcoin, praising its attributes, store of value as a hedge with asset, and then they talk about how many assets the company itself has. Fantastic. Cool. This was very popular news. Here's the actual article from Reuters. I don't know why they chose a photo of Peter Thiel looking just annoyed or he just lost in tennis, but whatever the case might be, cool. Fantastic. Very popular news. The last time we got some people bought Bitcoin news was from MicroStrategy when they bought approximately 850 Bitcoin. But this does boost optimism within the market. People, for some reason, don't pay attention to the massive hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin accumulation from the ETFs, but they will pay attention, oddly, to Peter Thiel's company having bought since 2014 or MicroStrategy or Elon Musk wearing a hat that has the letter B on it. It could stand for burrito, but no one really cares. People just assume that is Bitcoin. None of that happened, and I'm certain that someone was about to Google it. That's the Peter Thiel's company has bought $100 million extra in Bitcoin and $100 million as well in Ethereum. And yeah, let's move on. In news that will not leave the cryptocurrency space alone, Franklin Templeton, an American multinational holding company, has decided to double down on its crypto offerings and is now the latest Wall Street firm to file for a spot Ethereum exchange-traded fund within the United States of America since the 11th or 12th of January. I want to say the 12th or 13th, like literally days after we got the Bitcoin spot ETFs. The discussions then turned to, well, where are the spot ETFs for Ethereum? And it's like, well, we waited 10 years to get the Bitcoin one, so don't hold your breath on the Ethereum one. However, for some reason, the optimism is very high that apparently in the next 4 weeks, like literally 4 weeks, we could have a spot Ethereum ETF. I think the US SEC delayed their decision sometime in January for it, and therefore I think March is one of the deadlines, and there's also I think sometime in May as well. I forgot exactly what the May one was, but I think that there are multiple companies who have applied, and therefore I think it stretches between March all the way until May. But now Franklin Templeton has joined the fray, and they're trying to get one of these going as well. Sure. As reported earlier by The Coin Rise, the leading financial firm was one of the 11 asset managers whose application for a spot Bitcoin ETF was approved on the 10th of January. Since then, Franklin Templeton has not looked back, yada, yada, yada. As per an S1 filing submitted with the SEC on the 12th of February, the holding firm, which now has $1.5 trillion in assets under management, is seeking to debut what they're calling the Franklin Ethereum ETF on the CBOE, the Chicago Board Options Exchange. According to earlier reports, the SEC has yet to approve an Ethereum ETF in the US, but the digital assets community is optimistic regarding the approval. A couple of weeks ago, we heard from Hester Pierce. That's her name. I could not remember this woman's name. I don't know why. For some reason, I couldn't remember it. Hester Pierce a couple of weeks ago said that she's like quite optimistic for the future of ETFs within the cryptocurrency space because it should not require a lawsuit like the one for Bitcoin to be able to have one of these, and therefore this is leading a lot of people to believe that we might actually see something good come from this. Some of these ETFs are also talking about staking Ether as well, like the actual ETF will be buying up Ethereum and then also staking it into the network to give, ETF holders like an actual form of passive income, which is, when you want to talk about popular, this would be egregiously popular within the financial space. Very, very fast. People like things that have to do with dividends and monthly payments, especially when it's on a blockchain and there's nothing like most dividends right now. If you hold stock, most tend to be every 2 months, every 3 months. Some of them are every 4 months. There are some that are monthly, but they are very far and few in between. And there are even some dividends that do like once a year. So if people are able to buy this and they end up getting like a bi-weekly payout or a monthly payout, this would take off extremely, extremely fast. That's the Franklin. There we go. Templeton has applied for a spot Ethereum exchange traded fund. Let's see what ends up happening. I'm not holding my breath simply because Ethereum will do fine regardless. Of course, having this ETF will, of course, propel the price a lot higher than any of us could possibly begin to imagine. But I think people forget to like not live in the moment, but just like enjoy what we currently have. It's always because the moment we get an Ethereum spot ETF, the news is then going to become when Cardano, when XRP, when all these other coins, and it's like just a never-ending story. That's the Franklin Templeton news. Yeah. Let's move on. And for some reason, this was popular news. Crypto exchange Kraken has successfully secured a virtual asset service provider VASP registration from the Dutch central bank, the DNB, as part of its European expansion. The digital assets company announced the news a couple of hours ago, according to the US-based cryptocurrency exchange. The VASP license from the DNB affords the firm the legal right to offer residents of the Netherlands some of the industry's top products. In Kraken's opinion, the Dutch ecosystem is one of the most important European markets. Really? Really? It's not France, it's not Germany? I mean, I would even throw Turkey into that equation as well. Like Turkey is like the place where we know that people are buying up the most cryptocurrency. Anyway, Brian Gahan, the managing director of Europe for Kraken, noted that the VASP license is an indication that the company's European growth strategy is still accelerating. Beyond every other benefit, it's an opportunity for Kraken to push its services out to retail and institutional investors. For I saw this news floating around, and I thought it was because that Kraken had received a like European-wide license. And then I realized that it was just for, I almost said Dutchland. It was just for the Netherlands. Cool. So that's fun, I guess. I had kind of assumed, for some reason, okay, one, backing it up, I had assumed that they already had a license across all of Europe. And I'm also now remembering that for some reason, the Netherlands and Belgium are like the New York and Alaska of Europe, where like everything takes a really long time to get any kind of paperwork done there. And this is, I guess, only proving my point. So if you live in the Dutch and you didn't have Kraken before, look at you now. You got Kraken. Anyway, that's the Kraken has received a virtual asset service provider, VASP, piece of paper from the Dutch central bank because, you know, everything has to take a long time in this world. And yeah, let's move on. Also sure, why not? I don't disagree. Researchers at Binance say that ordinals could lead to a massive overhaul of the Bitcoin ecosystem within the coming years. Bitcoin ordinals, or NFTs, allow users to inscribe digital data such as images and videos onto a single Satoshi, or an individual unit of Bitcoin, to create the equivalent of NFTs on the Bitcoin network. Since their popularization, ordinals have dominated the fiat economy on the Bitcoin blockchain. We had news a week or so ago. The people who are mining Bitcoin, when they validate transactions, they're also making money from this as well. And they've made like millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions just from validating the transactions of just the ordinals. It is quite lucrative, quite profitable. In a new report, Binance Research says ordinals are driving new developer communities into Bitcoin and bringing new life to an ecosystem that has previously faced uncertainty as to where future revenue will come from for people who are mining Bitcoin. We know, stop, everyone's so dramatic. It's the same thing every single halving. People keep pretending that we don't know where the money is going to come from for people who are mining Bitcoin. They validate transactions. They make money that way as well. When they're also mining the Bitcoin, they also make money that way as well. There's a reason why they're mining it, because they're making money from it. I don't understand how this continues to be a conversation every single 4 years. They know the math. Before these people buy $35 million worth of machines, someone does the math. and they go, it will take us X amount of time to make our $35 million back. If the Bitcoin price goes below this number, we will still be profitable, because there's a reason why they but then every single couple of years, there's always this really weird thing like, oh, thank goodness that this thing has popped up out of nowhere. If it wasn't for Bitcoin NFTs, how would the people who are mining and validating transactions, how would they make money? Like, what are you talking about? Is every single article talking about it as well? I once again have to chalk it up to the fact that I believe a large portion of the people who are writing these articles must be brand new to the space. These people, they know how to make their money back. They're not simply, oh gosh, and I'm telling you, in the next couple of days, weeks, you're going to see a lot of articles about how like there's like a fear of people who are mining Bitcoin turning off their machines for lack of profitability. And it's like, shut up. You people sound so stupid every single time, just saying the same nonsense over and over when it's not how it works. It is not how it works. It's so dumb. I'm so annoyed over and over, constantly saying this. Binance said the impact of inscriptions and BRC20s on the Bitcoin network has been notable. Bitcoin's mempool transaction count significantly exceeded past year's levels and reached an all-time high in 2023, spurred by the activity from inscriptions and BRC20s. Other metrics, like average block size and transaction fees, have also shifted as well. Beyond metrics, the most profound impact on inscriptions, or BRC20s, on the Bitcoin ecosystem would be the increased motivation among the developer communities. Numerous new builders have been more attracted to Bitcoin. Existing projects are updating more quickly, and various novel ideas are circulating within the Bitcoin community. As such, we could witness a completely different Bitcoin ecosystem in the coming years. Some might argue, and they shouldn't, some might argue these changes contradict Bitcoin's intended role as hard money. However, continuous innovation is crucial for creating new, engaging use cases that can promote broad-based adoption. Thus, it's intriguing to consider where Bitcoin could head next. If you have 800,000 people who are looking to get into a market, to get into the NFT market, and they decide to buy NFTs, ordinals on Bitcoin, that's 800,000 new people who have entered into the Bitcoin ecosystem. Why would you be opposed to that? Bitcoin's idea as hard money, as the gold of the digital era, is like the narrative changes every single couple of years, and you have to be like a Satoshi era 2009 level Bitcoin maximalist to think that anything else on top of Bitcoin is something wrong or something that shouldn't actually be there. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, because I mean, if the idea is that Bitcoin is going to take over the world and everyone on the planet is going to have to use it, wouldn't you want people to have a reason to want to use it? Wouldn't you want to make sure that the network is so robust that it has literally every other thing that every other blockchain has? So in the end, people wouldn't have to use any other blockchain. They could just use Bitcoin. How could anyone be opposed to that? But there's always one. There's always, oh no, actually, like, there's multiple. We had news a couple of weeks ago, for those of you who weren't here. I think one of the lead developers, I don't know who this person is, somebody had a problem with it, and they were trying to talk about like deleting and destroying all of the NFTs on Bitcoin. And I was like, well, that's kind of scary, because you're a Bitcoin developer and you don't know that that's not how it works. Like you can't unmake the things. Like, they're literally inscribed on Satoshis. They will still be there in 140 years. They will still be there for people to actually see and use. So I'm not sure why this is so controversial. Like, I don't get it at all. One of the most logical things that we've heard is that somebody was like, let's make a brand new layer 2 solution similar to like Polygon, and then we have all the NFT stuff go there so that it takes a load off of the actual core network. But who knows exactly how long that's going to take. That's the Binance report. Says that we're probably going to have a whole different Bitcoin ecosystem, which is great. If you think that Bitcoin's that amazing and that awesome and that incredible, like, let everyone else see exactly that Bitcoin can do everything and that we don't actually need 5,000 other altcoins. News. Okie dokie. Let's move on. Also in, what? That's crazy. US-based business intelligence firm MicroStrategy, who's in the news like every other day, have announced that they're apparently pivoting their focus towards becoming a prominent player in Bitcoin development. I can't believe it. I mean, it's not like we've ever heard anything else like this before, so it's kind of scary. This bold plan was revealed by Michael Saylor during the company's latest Q4 earnings call on Wednesday, signaling a strategic pivot that could reshape the company's trajectory towards becoming a powerhouse in Bitcoin development. He said, "We view ourselves as a Bitcoin development company. That means that we're going to do everything we can to grow the Bitcoin network." That was very bland. I was expecting something like a little bit more dramatic, like, we're going to take all of our money and dump it into this system to make sure, and, not that it wasn't cool what he said, but it's more like you view as a development company, so you're going to grow the network. Okay, like how? Like what? Are you going to be mining Bitcoin, which I assume that they already are? Are you going to be making new protocols? Will you make new layers? Will you be putting money into the Lightning Network so that we can actually use it and live in the future, so that we don't have to continue hoping that one day Franklin Templeton or Fidelity or BlackRock puts in some Bitcoin? Anything along that line? I wonder what's the hold up with the whole Lightning Network. And I mean, like, not from a joking standpoint. I literally mean, like, all these companies are so focused. Maybe we're just in like hyper accumulation mode. Maybe they care. No, yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. They probably care more about like accumulating billions of dollars of this thing that might make them extra trillionaires, as opposed to like payments at this point. Okay, I'll continue. Saylor further underscored the distinct advantage held by MicroStrategy as an operating entity, emphasizing its capacity to pursue ventures beyond the scope of traditional trust companies, even those granted approval for ETFs. He said, "We have active control of our capital structure, and we can do things operating companies can do that trust companies like spot Bitcoin ETF they can't do." Was that English? "We can do things operating companies can do that trust companies like spot Bitcoin ETF they can't do." Okay. And that's a wide range of things. One of those things is we can develop software. Oh, wow. According to the businessman, MicroStrategy's forays into Bitcoin development will involve creating applications, and software to extract value from the Bitcoin network. Saylor expressed enthusiasm for exploring opportunities at the base layer and layer 2 protocols. Oh my gosh, why don't I read further? Why I no read? Why me no read further? Extracting value, Saylor expressed enthusiasm for exploring opportunities at the base layer and layer 2 protocols like the Lightning Network. One day I'll learn how to read and we will all benefit from it. Cool. Fantastic. We've heard before from a number of other companies that they planned on doing something similar to this. They wanted to expand the Bitcoin space, the cryptocurrency space. They had ideas for protocols. Maybe MicroStrategy is finally the company to be able to actually pull this off and be able to do so. Because we've had a lot of years ago, a lot of futuristic predictions for what Bitcoin could do or would do, or where it was going, or exactly how it was going to be built, or the things that could be done to it. And since then, not many things have happened. So Bitcoin's still up and running, but it's more of if you can create some like apps that can go onto the Apple Store or the Google Store, and people can use them in some sort of way, I think that would push things forward. Because while I don't mind the simple idea of Bitcoin being used as a store of value and or digital gold, I feel like, NFTs are probably on the right step to actually like full mainstream adoption. You just gotta create the right stuff. Yeah. I think that's gonna do it for this video. I'm a bit tired. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. Are you all enjoying what's happening in the market? Are you enjoying seeing what's going on? You all having good days? You all making sure to relax, to also take care of yourself? It's very, very important. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.